TV KPM.
Always autumn in my memory. Butter ringing the drill, tea shop crumpets, handmade chocolates, rich enough to choke you, brought in special smooth paper from town. Hi everybody, you guys are watching Sukses SPM 2021. My name is Nisa K. I'll be with you guys for this 1 hour. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing great, feeling fine, healthy and fit. With that being said, I'd like to remind you guys to always comply to the SOP and rules set by the government. Wear your face mask wherever you go and just stay at home if you don't have anything important outside. Maintain a physical distance of at least 1 meter or more. Wash your hands using water and soap. And don't forget the sanitizer. Use it when needed. Okay, so today, what did I just do? Well, I read a part of a poem. Well, this is a very interesting poem, but to know more about this, because we are going to learn English literature, let's take a look at our teacher's profile for today. Everybody, let's welcome Teacher Norhayati, Ketua Panitia Kesusasteraan Inggeris from SMKL Methodist Kuala Lumpur. How are you, teacher?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us today, and I'm so excited because I get to read a part of a poem. But to know more about that, we will talk about it later. So, teacher, I want to ask you to introduce yourself to our students at home.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Norhayati Binti Aziz from SMK Laki-Laki Methodist Jalan Jabat Kuala Lumpur. So I'm glad to be here today, especially with Nisa.
Thank you.
And with our students. And I do hope that our beloved students who are watching us right now on Didik TV will learn something from our today's session.
Yes, I believe they are as excited as I am today. So, talking about the students that we are going to have here on Google Meet, we have 4 students from SMK Laki-Laki Methodist Kuala Lumpur. So where are my fellow SMKL Methodist Kuala Lumpur? Hi! Everybody, hello! Welcome to Didik TV KPM. So we are going to let them to introduce themselves. Sure. Let's start with Binti. Kindly introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Meshanjit Singh from MBSSKL. And my occupation is to become a doctor.
He wants to become a doctor, a frontliner. Okay, so let's see with our next friend Isaac. What do you want to be? Kindly introduce yourself, Isaac.
Hi everyone, my name is Isaac. I'm from MBSSKL and I would love to be a orthopedic surgeon in the future.
Oh, wow. Another frontliner to be orthopedic. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Isaac. Next, we have Jumun. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Juman. I'm from MBSSKL and one day I would like to be an English storybook writer.
English storybook writer. I'll be the first one to buy your book, okay? Thank you so much, Jumun. Next, we have Zerji. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Chinzasi from MBSSKL and my ambition is to become a lawyer.
He wants to become a lawyer. Everybody has a great and a big vision ahead. So I wish you guys all the best. But before that, Teacher Hayati, before we start any activities, our session for today, let's take a look at this, our best friend for today.
For now.
Kindly sanitize our hands first before we start any activities. This is the SOP. I think this is not the new normal. This is the normal thing for us to do nowadays. So, let me ask you, Teacher Norhayati, what are we going to discuss for today's session?
Okay, thank you for asking, Nisa. Okay, basically we will actually looking at the poem that we have in our subject, which is English literature.
Okay.
And we will focus on this particular poem. And at the end of it, we will give a suggestion on how to answer a question, basically.
I love poems, and I hope our friends at home, they are all ready. I want to ask our friends on Google Meet, are you guys ready? If you guys are ready, kindly give me double thumbs up like this. Energetic. Yeah. Okay, they are all ready, but we are going to take a break. I'll see you guys after this on Sukses SPM 2021.
Didik TV KPM. Didik TV KPM.
Welcome back to Sukses SPM 2021. My name is Nisa K. Today we have teacher Norhayati and our friends from SMKL Methodist Kuala Lumpur or MBSSKL. Today the subject is English Literature and the title that we are going to discuss is Half Term. So I don't want to waste any more time. Our friends at home and on Google Meet, they are all ready and energetic. Please stay focused and just have fun for today's lesson. Kindly proceed for our first topic. But before that, teacher, I want to ask our friends here, our students from MBSSKL, what are they? What do they think about the subject or the topic? So, do we have anyone who wants to share anything that you think about the topic? Do you think this is a hard or interesting topic for you to learn?
I think I'll share.
Okay, Mesh.
For me, right, English literature is a subject that not only matures you, but it also teaches you a lot of values in life, but through the form of poem. So it's how you dig up the values in the poems and apply it in your daily life. Because these poems are quite old. Some are dating back to 17th, 18th centuries. And it's written at that time by one of the most famous poets in the world, and they have seen life at that time, and they have tried to share it in a form of a poem. So I feel the English literature, right, can be fun if you start to love it. If you open your heart and start to love it. English literature is normally regarded as a very boring subject to people's ears, and I feel that they should try to open up and one day just try to find the true meaning on why they write a poem, and then they'll start learning the subject.
Okay, thank you, Mesh. I like it when he mentioned that it matures you in a way. Just open up your heart to think that this is not a boring subject.
I would like to add, Nisa, I'm glad that now he is in love with this subject because at first he would like to actually drop this subject.
Okay, but now we can see that he actually opened up. That's why he said that you must open up your heart to see this subject from different perspectives. So I want to ask Jemun, what do you think about this subject or this topic?
Personally, I feel like this topic forces you to find stuff in the smallest of details. You really have to put some effort into looking into the deeper meaning and find another meaning out of what the poem is trying to tell you. For example, the meaning is usually not in face value, it's not in front of you. You really have to search through the whole text, everything from top to bottom, and find through the details what it actually means.
Okay, thank you, Jumu. So we have to pay attention to the very smallest detail.
Correct.
Okay, so do we have another friend who wants to share more about this topic? Okay, kindly.
Aziz.
In my opinion, I think English literature is a very unique subject that has always been an eye-opener for me because it can broaden my horizon through analyzing and interpreting a variety of reading materials, especially poems. For instance, I tend to get a new idea or point of view whenever I read a text over a few times. As a result, I am able to understand the message that was trying to be conveyed. Overall, English literature plays a crucial role in our daily lives by helping us practically and skillfully in any matter, especially problem solving.
Okay, thank you, Zerji. So he thinks that English literature is unique, eye-opener, and it gives him new point of view. So is it true, Teacher Hayati, that English literature is actually a boring and a hard subject to tackle?
Obviously, you are wrong. Obviously, you are wrong since this is the subject where which is very close to you actually. You are experiencing it in your daily life. Okay, the song that you listen, the movies that you watch. So those are part of literature.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is not a new thing or something new. It is in our life.
Okay, so let me quote again from Mesh, open up your heart to see English literature from different perspectives. So, we would like to start our lesson for today. So everybody, let's go.
Okay, thank you, Nisa. Okay, so for today, obviously we will look at a poem. Okay, we will look at a poem. Okay, so just to let our students aware that these are the 10 poems that we have in our subject, which is the 10. But obviously, today we just look at this one poem, which is half term. Okay, by obviously the writer is UA for Inter. And these are, I would like to just introduce what are the things that we are going to look at throughout this session.
Okay.
Okay, the first one is poet's background, which is important too, okay, to know who is the writer of the poems. And then we move on to the background of the poem. But this part, we just have a quick look to the poem.
Okay.
And then next is elements in the poem. And the last part, which is the important one that everyone is waiting for, is answering the questions. Okay. And I would like to, for this part, I will just share with you suggestions on how to answer or tackle the question.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so we will start with the poet's background. Okay, so this is the one who writes that poem, the poem that Junman finds difficult to understand earlier, right? Okay, so this is the person who responsible for that. So her name is Yue Fenter. So she was born on 22nd July 1929 and passed away at the age of 79 on 28 April 2009. And she is actually was one of the Britain's most talented poems. So meaning that it gives us the idea that the poem must be something great too, to analyze or to study. And then he went to a boarding school. And the last one, one more info that I found significant, that she took a diploma in school counseling. So meaning that she has that particular background. Okay, so now this is the part where I find important, okay, in this subject, okay, background of the poem, a quick revision, but this time we will just go through it quickly. It is but before that, it is very important for you to understand the poem better. If it is not, you can't actually answer the questions later, because this is about analyzing the text. It is about how you personally understand the text. Okay. And then, this is another thing, okay. The title of the poem is Half Term, okay. And before we go through the text, or it is not applicable for poetry. It also applicable for the other genres, for drama, for short stories. Every time that we would like to analyze, to study the text, we have to understand what does the title mean. Because it gives us the first introduction of what will happen next, okay. So that's the significance of understanding the title. Okay, so here, as the title is half term, and the meaning of title and the meaning of half term, based on Longman Dictionary, is a short holiday from school in the middle of a term. So I would like to know, Nisa, what is your actually idea whenever that we talk about half term, whenever that we talk about holidays or vacation, what comes into your mind?
When it comes to holiday or just some free times, I will think about spending it, you know, where it will make me very happy.
Correct.
Maybe something that I love, like picnic or just have time for myself.
Obviously, meaning that that's the only time that we are away from our routine.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So now let's move on to the poem itself, which is it is called a long poem, which is it's written in 9 stanzas. Okay, the next 3 stanzas will be in the next slide, but for now we just go through the 6 first stanza here. As Nisa recited the poem earlier, which is autumn, always autumn in my memory, buttering in the drill tea shop crumpets, handmade chocolates rich enough to choke you, brought in special smooth paper from town. So obviously, always autumn. So meaning that the persona tells us that that's the thing that always in her mind, in her memory. Okay, and then what she has about the memory? She has the image of the food, which is buttery the real tea shop crumpets, handmade chocolates, rich enough to choke you, brought in special smooth. As I noticed the way Nisa recited this part, which is special smooth. You have that kind of.
Yeah, I emphasize on
yes,
the special
correct.
smooth.
Yes, how so to show how special that paper is, okay, and from town some more, okay, from town some more. So basically, this particular stanza tells us about food, obviously, right?
Yes.
And then what kind of food, Junman? Based on this particular stanza, what kind of food that the persona describes here?
Anyone wants to share?
Sweet food, for example, chocolate.
Sweet food.
Crumpets and basically those two. And tea, which you basically have during tea time.
Yeah,
and
at the tea shop,
relax.
obviously. Correct, Juman? Okay, so when we look at the way the poet describes about the food here, it is something special, tasty, obviously. Okay, but then if you look at the next stanza, which is in brackets, okay, back at school, the square tall piles of bread, featureless red jam in basins, grace a shuffle of chairs, the separate table for the visiting lacrosse team. So it means here, this is the additional idea. Oh, I can't touch the screen, obviously. Okay, sorry. Okay, so obviously, this is the additional info about what has written earlier. Meaning every time that the persona describe about the food, this is comes after that, the afterthought. The afterthought. But then, this is back at school. Just now that she has during the holidays, which is the tasty food. But here, the way the poet describes the food is different from what she has during the holidays. Okay? Which is the featureless red jam. And then the setting is still the same, which is at the, obviously, where we usually actually have our food at school.
Yes.
Where we usually have our food at school, Nisa.
In the canteen?
At the canteen, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? So this is a setting at the canteen, but here is a setting at the tea shop during the holidays. So it means that every time that the persona reminds about about what happened during the holidays, it reminds the persona about the school. Okay, it compares with what she has at school, and then the next stanza: long awkward afternoons in hotel lounges, I landed in swollen armchairs, eyeing aristocratic horses in irrelevant magazines. Should I be talking to them? So, I would like to ask one of our students here, Isaac. Isaac, based on the word awkward, I landed, and the question, okay, what do you think the persona feels at this particular moment? What kind of feeling that she has?
Personally, I feel that she is very, I'll say lonely.
Okay.
I'll say you feel isolated.
Lonely?
The type of, and isolated.
And
Okay.
isolated?
Yeah.
Why? Because of the
I
word,
feel
right?
that-
Because
Yeah.
okay,
She's feeling a bit distant away from other people.
correct.
Like example, like when he's in his childhood time, you feel very
Lonely?
separated from other community.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good, Isaac. Thank you. So, meaning that during the holiday, okay, during the holiday at the hotel lounges some more, that is what the persona feels. That is how the persona feels. Even though we notice the persona is actually comfortable in terms of the physical one,
Okay.
which is swollen armchairs, which is hotel lounges. So meaning that give us the idea what kind of vacation that she has, which is the luxury one. Am I right?
Maybe
Okay,
she
do you
went to a
agree?
very big and grand hotel, and then
Correct.
she feels like this is so not the usual setting she's
Good.
usually in.
Very good, thank you. So that is what she has during the holidays. Okay, the setting. But then, in terms of the feeling of the persona,
Okay.
as the poet uses the word awkward, so she finds that even though it is hotel lounges, which is supposedly be something everyone is excited about,
Yes.
but here it's awkward. She finds that is an awkward situation. And then I landed in swollen armchair, even though the armchair is a very comfortable one, but I landed meaning that away from the other things.
Separated.
Being separated, being isolated from the other things around her. And then, and the persona also finds the magazine as irrelevant, something that she don't even familiar about.
Yes.
And the last one, the question actually adds to that particular feeling, which is the persona feels uncomfortable with that until she has that particular question to herself.
Okay. From my point of view, the phrase "should I be talking to them?" Maybe she thinks that, how do I fit in with this kind of people that she's not usually see or meet in her daily life? Okay, so we are going to discuss more about this poem. After this, let's take a break. I'll see you guys after this on Sukses SPM 2021.
Didik TV KPM. Didik TV KPM.
Thank you for those who are still watching us on Sukses SPM 2021. The subject is English Literature and we are discussing the poem Half Term by U.A. Fanthorpe. So I don't want to waste any more time. Let's just proceed with Teacher Hayati.
Okay, thank you, Nisa. Okay, so we'll straight away go to the next stanza. But this time, I will just go quickly as the focus is the next slide, okay? But here, we can actually notice the structure of the poem, how the poet tells us about what happened during the half term, which is the holidays, and then how does it remind the persona about back at school, meaning that the comparison between what she has or what she experienced during holidays, okay? So that is how it goes, okay? And we will go and deeper after this, okay? But for now, obviously, based on the poem, okay, this is what we can obviously, which is holiday versus school. That is how the persona finds the holidays and how the persona finds school. Okay, the next part, which is the literary elements. Okay, so it is very crucial for the students to know on how to analyze the poem or text, because if it is not, it will be useless. It will be useless. So these are some of the suggestions or guides that you can follow, okay, to analyze the text. Okay, first let's look at the setting. We should know what is the setting of the poem. There are two types of setting, which is setting of time and setting of place. Okay, and half term, meaning that it shows us it happens during holidays, which is setting of time. And then back at school, it covers both, which is time and also place. And then hotel lounges, obviously a place. So setting of place, we know where does the holiday takes place. Okay. Next is point of view. Point of view means who is actually tell us the story. So here, obviously, it is from the first person point of view, because we notice the word, the poet uses the word I. So we know that the one who tells us the story, the one who experienced the things happen in the poem. Okay, this is another important thing, which is themes. Okay, you should know whenever that. Okay, I'm sure that your teachers always tell us, okay, what is the theme? What is the theme of this text? What is the theme of the other text, and so on. But what is the theme actually? What is the theme? So, in other words, we may say that theme means the main idea or underlying meaning, meaning that what is the purpose of the writers writing this particular text? Okay, what is the idea? What the overall things can be related to? So that's what we call as a theme. Okay, how do you identify the theme of a poem? So usually the speaker is saying what he or she thinks and feels about it. So we know when we analyze it, what the persona feels, what the persona, what else, thinks. So it gives us the clue that, okay, this is the main idea that the poet would like to convey here. Okay? And another tip on how to look at the theme is by looking at the final stanza. Okay, by looking at the final stanza. So usually, the way the poet ends the poem will tell you what she would like the readers to understand about. Okay. Because it is, as I said, it emphasizes the poet's attitude and a shortcut to know the theme or value. But obviously, you can't do this shortcut as you have to go through the text, right? But whenever that you would like to re-look to the poem, you can straight away look at the final one. Okay, so based on what I have explained, okay, Zerchi, what do you think the theme of this poem? What is the main idea that the poet would like to deliver? would like the readers to understand or to learn?
I think the theme is about how a person discover their self through challenges and experience in life. When the persona is experience isolation during her holiday at home with nobody to accompany her. This is shown when the poem mentioned islander in swollen armchair, eyeing aristocratic horses in irrelevant magazines. This line clearly shows that she feels boring and has nothing to do, leaving her with no choice to sit on the armchair reading magazines and looking at aristocratic horses and magazines that she never read before, to spend her leisure time at home.
Okay, good, Zechi. Okay, obviously, that is how Zechis find the idea of the poem. And I would like to remind the other students out there, if you find that your team is different from your friend's team, you don't have to worry. Okay, because the one who analyze it, the one who understand the words written, the one who understand the phrases written is you.
Yes.
Okay, that is how you personally find it. But if, of course, whenever that you would like to share something, you have to justify like what Zechi did just now. Justification is important in literature. Of course, Zechi got the idea, meaning that Zechi finds that the persona learns something throughout the holidays, where she finally realized that she know herself well.
Yes.
After that, at the end of the poem, it tells us that way. Okay? Okay, that is how Zechis find the theme, but this is how I personally find the themes. Okay, you may agree and you may not. You may agree or you may also disagree with this, as this is mine. And of course, if you are agree, you can use it and of course make it as yours.
Yes.
Okay. So first is emotional versus physical comfort. Throughout the poem, we notice that it is about how the persona. Okay, before that, for those who are watching us at home, you may refer to your textbook on page 61.
Okay.
Okay, since we can't go back, it's difficult to go back to but you can refer to page 61 in your textbook. Emotional versus physical comfort. So we notice that how, obviously, during the holidays, we can actually notice how tasty the food is, right?
Yes.
The way the persona describes about the crumpets, the way the persona describes about the chocolate, compared to the food at school.
Yes. Teacher,
Okay? Yes.
don't we agree that all foods during the holiday that we had is actually
Tastes good.
tastier than what we usually have?
Okay, good. You know why? Because during the holidays, we are away from our routine.
Yes.
We are away of our routine. So meaning that our mind is free from the other things that bothered us before. So whenever it is half term, which is the vacation itself, so we find everything is beautiful.
Yes.
But not this particular persona, as she finds that she has the comfort, the physical comfort, the hotel, staying in the hotel,
Yes.
and have that good food. But then in terms of emotional, she doesn't feel it. She doesn't feel it. Okay. So that is why she compares these two things, which is the life during the holidays and the life during the school days. That is emotional and versus physical comfort. So we find that even though we are able to have the physical comfort,
Yes.
but without the emotional one, it will be useless. It will be
Pointless.
something missing. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So the next theme that I find related to the poem is self-realization. Obviously, the title is half term. So meaning that the half term or the breaks or the vacation may help us to know our true self.
Yes.
To realize something. Oh, okay. Now after the persona shared with us what happened in the previous stanza. So we know at the end she finds her true self by saying that she now is ready to face the schoolmates at school. Okay, you know your text, right? So at the end of it, so we know that she finally knows herself well. She's ready.
Yes.
Okay, because of the experience that she has during the holidays.
Yes.
So
and
meaning that
I agree with the emotional part,
Correct.
Teacher Hayati, because I can see that throughout the poem, even though you are in a crowd, you can actually feel lonely.
Correct. Correct, obviously. Even though you are actually, there are a lot of luxury things around
Yes.
you, okay, but you can still feel lonely. So that's what happened to the persona. Okay, next. This is the poetic devices. Okay, there are 4 things that I highlight here, so we can just go through it. Alliteration. The poet uses alliteration to highlight some of the words, which is like the first stanza tells us in my memory. So to highlight that this is the persona's memory, not other people's memory.
Yes.
Okay, and then handmade chocolate rich enough to choke you. Chocolate. Okay, this is the repetition of the consonant. Chocolate, choke you. So to enhance the sense of
it tastes
how good,
good.
it tastes good. Okay, chocolate choke you. And then another thing, it is spatial. The repetition of spatial smooth paper from town. So spatial smooth. The way you pronounce it, it also represents how good the paper is.
Yes.
Okay, and then the other device that the poet used is contrast. We can see that the one written in the parenthesis is back at school. The one without the bracket is what happened during the holidays. So we can see how school days and holidays are contrast in terms of food, in terms of physical facilities, and so on. And then busy days in school versus inactivity in the hotel lounges. Obviously, inactivity. The persona has nothing to do, just sit on the swollen armchairs and eyeing people around her. Okay, and then food, the contrast between the food during the holidays, which is the comforts, versus the featureless red jam. So the persona, not the persona, okay, the poet, okay, uses the contrast to actually highlight the idea about how to appreciate the things. Okay, how to appreciate the thing, okay, and obviously holiday makes you appreciate what you have around you.
Yes.
Basically, okay. Images, we can notice the poet uses autumn, food, school, hotel, and the descriptions about these things is part of the images. Okay, and then the last device is parenthesis. Okay, what is the function of parenthesis? Okay, to add details, to present secondary info to the main point. Okay, so as we notice, the parenthesis here is the back at school, meaning that every time that the persona talks about something during the holiday, it reminds the persona about what happened at school. Okay, and that parenthesis means to add, to give us a clearer idea, or to add, to make us understand more about what the poet would like to convey.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we comes to the what we call it, the most interesting part.
Yes.
Okay, where
especially
I
for
find
our
that,
SPM candidates 2021.
Correct. Okay, but I'm sure that your teachers taught you well before, so we can just straight away go to the answering questions here. This is just a suggestion. You can follow, and you may have your own way in answering the questions, but this is just to guide and help you. Okay, so basically this is the format of our paper, which is we have 3 sections. Section A, Section B, and Section C. And of course, today we are focusing on the Section C, which is poetry. So the other sections carry 35 marks, equal to 70. So the remainder, which is the 30 marks, it belongs to the poetry. So in poetry, the 30 marks, you have to answer 1 out of 2 questions.
Oh.
Okay, 1 of the 2 questions. But it doesn't mean that you have to only write 1 essay.
Okay.
So that 1 question is a package. It consists of 2 questions, A and B.
Okay.
Okay, A and B. So both questions carry 15 marks. Okay, so 15 times 2, 30 marks. So that's about the format. So now let's move on to the next one. So this is the thing that I find every candidate who is taking or doing EL should know. Okay, which is the AO stands for assessment objective. Okay, AO stands for assessment objective. So bear in mind there are 4 AOs that you should cover whenever that you answer questions in order for you to get good marks. Okay, and not only for the sake of good marks, it is also in order for you to what we call it, to show that you understand and can learn something from what the text would like to convey. Okay, the first AO is know your text very well. So meaning that how to show that you know your text very well, you are able to support your understanding with the evidence. Okay, evidence from the text, meaning here from the poem itself. And the next AO is AO2. Explore text beyond surface meanings to reflect a deeper awareness of content. Meaning that after you give the evidence, you should explain what do we understand from the evidence. How does the evidence affect you as a reader? Okay. And the next one is AO3 is analyze and evaluate ways in which language and literary devices are used in the text. Meaning that explain effects of language, form and structure. Okay. In other words, we may say that this is the time where you appreciate the poet's effort to deliver the message.
Okay.
And the last one is the best part, which is this is the time you convey or you share how you personally find it, your opinions about it. And of course, whenever that you share your opinions, you have to always relate to the question back.
You have to justify the answer.
Yes, to justify the answer. Okay, to make sure that you answering the question, not shock sendiri.
Yes.
Okay, so to make sure that you are answering the question. Isaac, which AO that you find difficult for you to fulfill or to
tackle?
to tackle? Yes.
I would say the AO3.
AO3.
Okay.
Why, Isaac?
I really can't actually.
Okay, perhaps you know why, Nisa. Perhaps they are actually confused about how to differentiate between AO3 or AO1. But sometimes they feel that they have difficulty to write it.
Yes.
But when we mark it, they already have it. So it's very subjective actually,
Yes.
right? Okay. So
They may
next,
know about it, but they might not realize
Yes,
that they
correct.
actually know about the poem or whatever
Yes.
the paragraph is all
obviously,
about.
because it is interrelated. Interrelated, okay? So now, okay, this is the sample question, which is how does Fanta present the ideas of holiday and school life in the poem? So I have highlighted several words here,
Okay.
which is the how Fanta present holiday and school life, okay? Before we look at this one,
Okay.
I would like to ask Nisa. Okay, based on the few stanzas just now, right, about
Okay.
school life. Okay, what do you think the personas, how the persona actually finds school life?
Okay.
Do you think that the persona likes school life or how so far?
From my personal point of view, after I go through the half-term poem, I think the persona somehow used to think that, oh, my school life is very boring, but how can I be in a situation where I am in a better place than home, which is the grand and big hotel,
Correct.
but I still feel lonely and isolated and I cannot fit in with the people around me.
Correct.
That's the feelings
Correct.
that
Good.
I actually think.
Good. Because that is how we or students usually think also. Okay? We find that, because that is our routine.
Yes.
That is our routine. We find that it's a very boring one. We are bored with those routines. But then once you are away from that particular routine or things, then only you realize that, okay.
I miss school.
Correct.
Suddenly I
Okay.
miss schools and everything.
Good, thank you. And then, so now, okay, so you should know how do you find holiday being presented in the poem, which is holiday and school. We divide it into holiday and school. Holiday, how does the speaker find life during holidays? Meshwin, how the speaker find life during holidays based on the poem?
Based on the poem, the speaker finds life in the holidays quite lonely. Although it might give her certain comfort that she doesn't get in
Correct.
school, but it still gives that effect of loneliness because she knows she's not surrounded by her friends, or she doesn't have that vibe that they say that you have in school with your friends while learning.
Good.
She feels quite lonely.
Yes,
Correct,
thank you so
Meshwin.
much.
Thank you so much. Okay, so that is Meshwin's opinion about this. Okay, how does speaker life? So Meshwin finds that the personas or the speakers find that she's quite lonely during the holidays. Okay, even though it being comforted by the other things, but she still feel that way. And then we notice that the way Meshwin gives the response just now, it already covers some of the AOs.
Okay.
Indirectly. Okay, because he has supported it with the evidence, which is the word islanded, the word awkward. So indirectly, without he himself noticing it.
Yes.
Okay, but we as the teachers know which part that you have covered. Okay. And same goes to school. Okay, how does the speaker find life at school? As Nisa shared with us just now, which is she finds that the persona finds that the school is quite boring because of the featureless red jam.
Yes.
Because of the food that she has during the school days, it's not as good as.
Yeah, she might find it bland, by the way.
Correct. But obviously, when we have finished analysing the poem, we find that the persona can accept that particular thing compared to the physical comfort that she has during the holidays.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if you are during your holidays, you might be thinking about the things, your routine, the thing that you found that this is a boring thing to do every single day, same routine. But then when you are outside of that routine, you're actually thinking about it. Don't you agree with me? So before we proceed with our next discussion, we are going to take a break. I'll see you guys after this in Sukses SPM 2021 Didik TV KPM.
Didik TV KPM. Didik TV KPM.
Welcome back to Sukses SPM 2021. We are discussing about the assessment objectives and a little bit about the poem. What do you think about the poem? What I think about the poem. So let's proceed with our lesson. Over to you, teacher.
Thank you, Nisa. Okay, so before the break just now, we were actually discussing about how you personally find how the persona or the poet describes about the school and about holidays, okay? And whenever that you give your opinion, of course, you supported it with the evidence.
Yes,
so
from the poem.
Yes, from the poem. So it already covers A01, A02 at the same time. A1, A02 at the same time. So next, okay, after you know how the poet presents the school and holiday in this, and then it is time for you to how, in what ways, okay? What are the things that the poet uses to present that the one that you understand just now, okay? So how does the poet make you understand the poem better, okay? There are several things that you can look at, okay, which is it through the language, okay? Is it through the form, diction, stanzas, poetic or devices? Okay, if you would like to, so you touch and appreciate it, meaning that you have to talk about how the poet uses, for example, this word instead of the other word, the awkward, the islanded, to highlight that how lonely the persona, or the persona, what am I saying? Sorry, the speaker or the speaker, okay, feels, okay, and then the diction in terms of the words, and then the stanzas. Look at how the poet organizes the stanzas, which is some are in brackets, which is to add that that additional details, okay, precisely about school, and then the poetic devices, as what I said earlier, which is the alliteration, the what else just now, alliteration, contrast, okay, so touch about it and relate it to how you understand just now, so it covers your A03. So meaning now you already have the A1, A02, A and O3.
Okay.
Okay, you have your understanding, you support with the evidence that makes you feel or understand that way, and then how the poet uses the things to make you or to convey that particular points or idea. Got it so far? Okay, I do hope so. Okay, so next, okay, as we have covered the A1, A2, A03, so A04 is, what is your opinion or personal response to the writer's presentation of the holidays and school holiday? When we talk about a personal response, it is not something about your own experience.
Okay.
It is about how you personally understand based on
the whole poem.
The poem. Not based on you, based on the poem, but how you personally find it, what you have learned from it. So it covers the A04.
Okay.
Okay, it covers the A04.
That's interesting that we actually didn't realize that we actually covered the A01 till A04.
So, correct. That is what practice makes perfect. Okay, so every time that you do exercises, you may actually or eventually you will get it. Okay. Okay. Before we end our today's session, right, I would like to just introduce to our students out there, okay, that there is another type of question, which is what we call as open-ended questions. For this particular question, you will be given a statement.
Okay.
You will be given a statement. So same goes to the, so meaning that this is the format. So meaning that you are given two questions, 1 and 2, and for each question you have A and B. So the it's either A or B, will be the open-ended questions. Okay, so when you are asked to answer this particular question, this kind of question, for example, the statement is holidays are an opportunity to journey within. Okay, which is obviously related to the poem. Okay, so discuss the statement with clear reference to the poem. And of course, you need to understand the statement first, then only you can relate with the poem. Of course, you have to always relate to the text in order for you to get marks. If it's not, it will be meaningless.
Okay. Teacher, this is the time where I sadly want to inform you that I want to ask you for the conclusion of our today's lesson.
Sure, I would like to share.
As we have reached the end of our class for today.
Okay, thank you so much, Nisa. Okay, I would like to use this opportunity to what we call it, introduce you with these particular tips. Okay, so whenever that you would like to answer the EL questions, English literature question, these are the words or these are the tips that may help you to get on the right track. Which is try to use the word because seen as to show that this is the evidence to support your understanding. And then the next, how does it impact you? And then connect to the question. You must always have these three things. Then only you automatically cover the 4 AOs.
Okay, thank you so much, Teacher Norhayati.
No problem.
For all the tips and all the informations you shared with us today. I hope it will help the students out there, the students on Google Meet, to answer this question confidently in SPM 2021. Thank you so much, our friends from SMKL Methodist Kuala Lumpur, our doctors, orthopedic, writer and lawyers to be. I wish you all the best. Good luck for SPM 2021. So do a lot of practice because practice makes perfect. And I'll see you guys in the next episode and keep watching Didik TV KPM. You can rewatch this episode in Didik TV KPM's YouTube channel. My name is Nisa K. I'll see you guys later or next episode in Didik TV KPM. Bye!
Didik TV KPM